Hey guys, welcome back. So today we got a story that came out in the morning, and that has to do a lot with Bernie Sanders. Obviously, as you see, he hasn't been winning a lot of states because of the huge blue MAGA wave that has been going on in the Democratic side with Joe Biden and everyone else who wants him to be the nominee. But obviously, there's a huge pressure for Bernie Sanders to drop out or to announce his campaign to do the right thing and unify the party or whatnot. But obviously, recently today, MSNBC took out an audio recording from I think it was a couple of people who were asking Bernie Sanders some questions on stage, and a reporter came in and asked a question about a recent ad that had on a recent article or a recent news that had came out that he has to spend some of his campaign's ads on Facebook. But people started framing it this way. Look at the way they frame that announcement. It says just in, Sanders suspend his 2020 campaign and in quotes Facebook ads. So this is a way of you know trying to tell people, oh, most people will automatically read the title of that article and say, oh, he suspended his campaign finally, and obviously his supporters start freaking out because the first thing you see, Sanders suspends his 2020 campaign, but in quotes you had the Facebook ad. So it's a catch-up thing. But based on that alone, MSNBC took out this recording. Let's hear it.
Sir, what are you saying to your supporters who've been on this flurry today? Can you say to you?
Some of what we said is just untrue. We sent out a statement.
What's your time frame?
Stop with this. I'm dealing with a global crisis. We're dealing with it, and you're asking me these questions, right?
You're running for president, so
well, right now I'm running. Right now I'm trying to do my best to make sure that we don't have an economic meltdown and that people don't die. Is that enough for you to keep me busy for today?
So there you have it, guys. I want to play the clip again, but let me read it to you. The things that happened. It's the reporter came and asked Bernie Sanders, quote, "Sir, what are you saying to your supporters? There's been all this fluidity today," and then Sanders immediately responds, "Well, so no, what was said was just untrue. We sent out a statement." And then another reporter comes in and says, "What's your time frame?" And then you have to stop with this. I'm dealing with a fucking global crisis. We're dealing with it, and you asking me these questions, and then obviously he proceeds to the reporter saying, "You're running for president, so I don't." And then Sanders, "Well, right now I'm running. Well, right now I'm trying to do my best to make sure that we don't have an economic meltdown and that people don't die. Is that enough to you? Do you keep yourself? Does that keep you busy enough for today?" And it makes totally sense. Obviously, right now we're in a huge pandemic going on around the world, around the country. People are trying their best to keep the pandemic from spreading out all around the United States. And one of them who's leading the way to push the envelope, towards the policy and the methods and the programs and things that the Trump administration wants to do, is trying to push and tell them, look, these are the things you could do, these things you should do in this case of an emergency, and we all should push the Trump administration towards that side. And one of the things, let's see what kind of things he's pushing for. He's saying, and Bernie Sanders' Twitter handle says, "We're facing a public health crisis. We must reverse cuts to local public health agencies and Centers for Disease Control, provide full federal funding for all testing and treatment for the coronavirus, guarantee paid leave sick to every worker." And that's just one of his posts. Another post he has, "The coronavirus crisis is on the scale of a major war. We need testing and healthcare for all, direct economic aid to every worker, no evictions for foreclosures or utility shut-offs, and the U.S. production of medical supplies, obviously. Now's the time for solidarity. We are in this together. And no, things like this is being proposed in policy and strategic efforts to make the American people feel safe and feel that they're being supported by the government in a moment of huge crisis. And also, Trump obviously has come up with different solutions, and one of them being the huge bailouts to different corporations, especially to the airline industry, that they're asking the government for them to be, bailed out, just like, they bail out Wall Street in 2008. And obviously Trump is like, I consider it. I think we're going to bail them out. But obviously, who's paying that? Obviously us. We're putting the money to bail out the airline industry. And what are we going to get back? We giving them money when our taxpayer money. You hear me? We giving them money so they could bail out the industries. And what are we going to get back? Are we going to own some part of the company? Are we going to get any benefits? As the people who work for them going to get more benefits? Are they going to get paid leave now? Are they going to get something in return for them to invest their taxpayer money into their companies to bail them out? So Bernie Sanders says, let's be clear. Any rescue of airlines must put workers first. That means paying all workers at least $15 an hour, ending stock buybacks, no outsourcing jobs anymore, expanding benefits, workers sitting on corporate boards. He says we cannot repeat the failures of our last bailout. In a bailout which Barack Obama just gave money to this Wall Street banks, and then the banks said, okay, what we're gonna do? Are we gonna go to jail because we did something wrong? We brought down the economy, the housing market. What are gonna be the consequences? And then Barack Obama said, oh, there's no consequences. Don't worry, guys. We're just gonna have to work together. I might try to give you everything you need to bring back the economy. And then the bank was like, are you serious? Like, yeah, it's cool. So they just ran out of the door and never came back. Even if Barack Obama tried to call them back to discuss the strategy, they never came back. Because they say, we're good, though. We're good. The amount of money they donated to Obama's campaign was good enough. So Bernie Sanders is trying to say, we cannot do the same shit. We cannot just give taxpayers money to these companies who destroy the economy, all right, and not get nothing in return. Yeah, some of these companies paid their money back. The others didn't. They got blank checks to do whatever the fuck they want to. So he's trying to say, if we're going to bail them out, we need to get something back for the working people. Because they're the ones who are putting their taxpayer money to bail them out. All right. So this is how he's leading the effort on this crisis. All right. So now you got people, like reporters coming out saying, hey, Bernie, we're really interested in you dropping out. So we're going to keep pushing you to, to you answer those questions, because people are very interested for you to drop out. And it's like, bro, I'm dealing with more difficult things, more important things than, us. We don't have our heads on, hey, should I drop out or not? Because that's not going to help anyone. Because Bernie Sanders, has helped push the envelope to create better programs, better assistance programs, and policies that benefit solely or uniquely the American people. So for reporters to come out, where are you going to drop out? Where are you going to drop out? Without him pushing the envelope, then it doesn't make any fucking sense. And it tells you where the head of reporters are at. They want him out as soon as possible and not rocking the boat, not questioning what Democrats are doing, not questioning what the Republicans are doing, which is fucking crazy, because Democrats right now are more to the right than most Republicans. Republicans are actually considering giving people $1,000, considering giving even $2,000 a month or maybe one payout of $2,000. You know who's blocking them from doing so? Democrats. Democrats are getting in the way because they see that it's like, oh my God, these guys are going more to the left than us. If they do that, that's a re-election right there. They're gonna re-elect Donald Trump because of that. Because people see that he's being more of a populist, economic populist, that they are just like the other day we saw, right? The Republicans came in and said we want to give people $1,000, and then the Democrat, what's her name? Damn it, I forgot her name. What was Democrat? She came in and she was one of the people who ran for the Democratic nomination. She got out very late. Kamala Harris. There you go, Kamala Harris. She came in and said, you know what? Instead of giving people $1,000, we should cut it off to $500. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you even say that? $1,000 is not even enough, and you want to cut it back to $500. So, but this is what Democrats are doing. They're just dumb. They don't get it. They don't get it. Just bad at politics. But anyways, moving on. Bernie Sanders moving the envelope just like he did in 2016. This is why we are in a position where the majority of the population here in the United States is in favor of Medicare for all, right? And now he's even trying to move the ball away from what the United States is doing to countries like Iran. Iran, if you don't know, they have a lot of sanctions that the Donald Trump administration has put on there. And one of them being that they're trying to they have cut off the help, the medicine that is sent, that the Iran buys in. They have cut off the help, the aid from the medicine to come into the country. And especially now that they need it because of the coronavirus, they have almost more than 10,000 cases and more than 1,000 people have died. And they say, look, we need as much help, we need much aid as possible because people are dying. We don't have enough resources to help the sick. Our hospitals are full. We need help. They're asking other countries for help. And you know what the United States does? They increase the sanctions. They're stopping more of the aid that's coming in because they want to suffocate. They want to kill their people, so people could get tired of the government and revolt, because that's what the United States has been doing throughout many years. And it's fucking crazy. Let's see what Bernie Sanders has to say on this time. Iran is facing a catastrophic toll from the coronavirus pandemic. U.S. sanctions should not be contributing to this humanitarian disaster. As a caring nation, we must lift any sanctions hurting Iran's ability to address this crisis, including financial sanctions. So he's the one who said, you know what, we cannot treat people like this way in a moment of huge crisis. Like, all as human beings are hurting. And this is what the United States is doing to kill more people. Look at CNN right here. The report says Iran has confirmed 147 new deaths from the novel coronavirus, bringing the country's total death toll to 1,135 out of the more than 10,000 cases they have. And this is why Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that could actually win the general election. Obviously, he's not winning the Democratic elections, because we know that many reasons of why what the Democrats had done to try to bring Bernie Sanders down and his movement. They use obviously corporate media telling massively most of the Democratic voters to vote for Biden, because according to their analysis, he's the more electable candidate. He's the one who could beat Donald Trump. But as you see, Biden is not even proposing these ideas. He's not even saying that we should take out the sanctions from Iran. He's not even doing anything. And in all the things he says that we should unify. And, Biden, the only thing right now he's stating out there on his Twitter or anywhere, he's saying that he's more competent than Donald Trump to face in a moment of crisis. He says that he believes in science, and that's enough for him to be the one who should win over Donald Trump, or or someone who's more presidential than Donald Trump, someone who believes in science, and someone who will behave more presidential during a moment like this. That's all he has to. That's all he's offering. That's all he. That's why people say that he's the blue MAGA, blue. Democrats make America great again. They want to go back to a moment of peace, and those years where Barack Obama was president, so they could say, "Oh, we elected the first African American president. That's enough. That's enough." They don't care, bro. It's all platitudes and cliche bullshit. Instead of having someone who says, we should do things that will benefit the people, that will bring back people back to life from this crisis or after the crisis, because there's going to be some kind of economic upbringing that we will have to do. And obviously most people don't care, man. I mean, most Democrats don't care. And obviously Bernie Sanders is the only one who does.